Paul George's return evokes mixed feelings for Pacers. Indianapolis, for all that Paul George accomplished in 7 years with the Indiana Pacers, 2 Eastern Conference Finals trips, 4 NBA All-Star games and an incredible return from a gruesome injury, fans will call upon different memories when he returns for the first time Wednesday to Bankers Life Fieldhouse wearing a different shade of blue. A crowd that once deemed him with worthy of MVP chants will drown the arena in boos fueled by an entirely different set of memories. Those times he said he wanted to stay. Then the time he said he was leaving. Those times he said he wanted to be what Reggie Miller was to the Pacers. Then those times his inner circle leaked his desire to play for Magic Johnson's Lakers. Abandoned and angry, Pacers fans have become the scorned lovers of the 2017-18 NBA season. Even with a new sweetheart to help heal their wounds, they can't seem to let go of that anger at their ex. In fact, their new beau has become the lightning rod for disparaging George. Victor Oladipo is so clutch, they say. He's already hit more big shots than George did. Oladipo loves this town, they say. He's already shown more appreciation for Hoosiers than that California kid ever did. Even Oladipo has noticed the constant comparisons, and he's getting sick and tired of it. He's moved on and I've moved on, Oladipo said after his 47-point outburst Sunday. But the fans haven't. They're still angry, and there's no doubt that when George is announced ahead of Wednesday's Pacers Thunder game at Bankers Life Fieldhouse, merciless boo-birds will fly. Fair or not, they can boo or cheer for whomever they please, and how much of the negativity George brought upon himself can be debated until the day he retires. The current collection of Pacers knows that, but if fans think George's former teammates are going to take pleasure in the icy reception, well, that's not going to happen. Inside the Pacers locker room, many Pacers have fond memories of George. While fans will look back on the George era with disgust, disdain and disapproval, Thad Young remembers a close friend, competitor and confidant. He'll even remember strategizing with George on how to extend their NBA relationship. "We sat next to each other on the plane," Young remembers. "We talked all of the time. Played cards. And we talked about wanting to play with one another, about wanting to be on the same team. He's a great teammate and a great guy." The problem with last year's disappointing team, swept out of the playoffs in the first round, wasn't George, Young continued. The problem was there weren't enough basketballs to go around. Many of the Pacers' best players could only thrive with the ball in their hands. And, funnily enough, Young said, George wasn't one of those players. He's one of the best players in the NBA because of how good he is without the ball. Young added that he'd definitely be open to reuniting with George, a free agent to be. In fact, Young, who could opt into another year with the Pacers or choose free agency this offseason, would welcome the opportunity. Unsurprisingly, Lance Stephenson feels the same way. Of course, Stephenson said, almost shocked to hear the question. "That's my brother. If he had a chance to come back here, I'd definitely love to play with him again." Stephenson even thinks George would be open to the idea. "We're, both, so used to being here, and other places are so different," Stephenson said. "Indiana just feels like home." Maybe the Pacers franchise truly is home for Stephenson, but it might not be for George. Not anymore at least. After gut-punching the Pacers franchise and fan base, George might have burned the bridge back into their hearts. If so, one former teammate would certainly understand. "He didn't leave on the best of terms," Miles Turner said, echoing comments George himself made earlier this year. "He did what was best for him and his family." And it's possible, Turner seemed to hint, that George might have at least singed the bridge back into the Pacers locker room, the one that Turner recently called the best he's ever played in. "It's the positivity," Turner said of why he loves play with this team more than past iterations of the Pacers. "I don't want to go into too much detail about it, but positivity is the best thing I've been a part of this year." Turner then chuckled when asked if he'd ever want to play with George again. "Where's this expletive coming from?" Turner laughed. "I mean, I guess. I don't know. Turner said when asked if George would fit into the Pacers locker room now. "I wouldn't know how to answer that one." Follow Indy Star Sports reporter Jim Mello on Twitter and Instagram, @JimAello. More, Pacers Victor Oladipo sick and tired of Paul George comparisons. So who's better? Pacers Victor Oladipo named Eastern Conference Player of the Week. Victor Oladipo's career game keeps the Pacers rolling. Love our Pacers coverage. Download the free IN Sports app.